Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ineffableelse, where we explore the things that are beyond our supposed comprehension, and we use the parameters that astrology affords us to explore the different planets in the different archetypes. This is the first series, and it is the Saturn series. So join me down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's help this grow and spread the word of astrology and a bit more of an introspective view on this artistic science that we have been gifted by the universe. And please comment below, do you know your Saturn placement? What sign is your Saturn in? What do you think about it now being in Aquarius? Share this video with anyone who you know who might appreciate this. Like it. Hit the notification button to receive more. Please don't hesitate to contact me for a reading via email or through any of the social media platforms which I link in the description to this video. Very excited to be here. This is my great passion, so relax and enjoy this journey with me. Saturn in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. This also applies to you if you have Saturn in the 12th house, or if you have Saturn conjunct Neptune. Dreamy. So supposedly at odds, Saturn is never too comfortable in a water sign because it can't contract in the way that it wants to. It can't categorize and contain, and but you can contain water in some ways, but Pisces is mutable water moving in all different directions. So there can be a frustration and a difficulty to keep things together and to get started and to keep things going and keep up the fuel, keep the engine running. And as with Virgo, there is a tendency to want to escape and evade, and there's a lot of responsibility on the heads of the Pisces. There's a lot because you feel everything and can see everything, and that can be kind of a drag. With Saturn in Pisces, it's all about creating your vessel to float and to flow, because you're already very well aware that you can't control anything, and yet you have a will, and you do have an ego, and you do have somewhere to go. There is an objective, and this is why, as with all this water signs, it's very important to look at the rest of your chart and to look to your midheaven and look to your sun and look to, right, well, what is my actual trajectory in terms of where I would love to go, and then how can I use Saturn to help me with my little paddles to get moving, and then just let the current take me or let the wind whip my sails. Yeah, very interesting to look. Pisces energy is just so far out and so transcendental that it's very difficult to quantify and catalogue, and that is exactly what Saturn wants to do. So why not let it? Why not let Saturn try to grasp and grapple with these amazing far out realities of deep space, Neptunian themes, and the dream world. Write your dreams down. Maybe within your dreams you're being given messages about what your deepest desires truly are, your desires, or even desires for Gaia, for the global ascension. There's a very spiritual quality to Saturn in Pisces, and a quality of the nun or the monk and the medium or the clairvoyant, really being able to take something so utterly ethereal and floaty and to ground it into some kind of book or artwork or something physical. Dance can be very physical, to express what can't be expressed. Yeah, it is a paradoxical position for Saturn. It definitely feels that way. And this is about the melting down of boundaries, and the last time it was in the mid-90s, so 93 till 96, with some retrogrades back and forth into other signs. But essentially, this is a time of melting down of boundaries, And it also happened during the 1960s, and this is why there's so funny parallels between the different decades. And it was from 1964 till 67. This is the end, culminating in the summer of love, and just total abandon, and just letting go of the senses, and just an explosion of ordered chaos. The Haight-Ashbury and all of these things happening in California. And then in the 1990s, this total lack of faith, huge lack of faith in the 1990s, and kind of terror about what was coming in the millennium. And it can go both ways, just an absolute loss of faith and denial and escapism, or a renewed faith. And this is where Saturn can help you ground it if you let it. Because if not, it can just float. You don't want to be a floater. It's always a paradox with Pisces. It's always a paradox. Create your container. At least do that. Build your boat. Construct it with force and intention, and then float. And have your objective for your, where would you like to live? What is your dream? And then just dream with it. Dream and float downstream. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. This is the culmination, it's the transcendence of traditional Capricornian, Saturnian themes, and the reforming of fractals into something very, very of a much higher octave to help the world transcend and move. A lot about movement, moving the physical body. And we will have Saturn in Pisces between 2023 and 26. So that's the next phase, just to give you a heads up of where we can move in terms of control, boundaries, limitation, restriction. And the Pisces has got big issues with boundaries, and it's knowing, when you're in the sea, you're in contact with everyone all of the times. It's not, definitions are hard to define. So learning to say no, because you are a physical human, learning not to let people step on you, not to let yourself be a burden to others, to really observe what is, a fair interaction, and what is sprawling. That sprawling thing can be a hindrance. And a mature Saturn in Pisces is a thing to behold. A mature Pisces anywhere, is a thing to behold. We've not seen it yet. We don't know what that will look like, because it's new. It's budding. It's just budding. This transcendental, higher consciousness state. And of course, that means, the chakra that it would correspond to would be the crown. Really focusing on the opening up in this way to receive the higher wisdom and the higher path that Saturn can then help you to cultivate and to create that yellow brick road to walk down. Because it will be so important for Pisces to understand the importance of consequences and natural law. It already knows it intuitively, but to see the seeds that have been sown and then reap the harvest later. It's about karma and cycles, and aligning the higher will with my will, personal will, your blessing.